I've always been like this like shy introvert kid growing up, and it's like that was really hard, like doing the brawl the first couple times, and like I'm not looking at anybody and like not interacting with the crowd. But now I freaking love it. Like I'll high five everybody at every stunt show, and like want to talk to everybody, and it's like I love that. So it's like just doing it for the crowd or whatever, and that definitely takes kind of the nerve out of me.
Do you think it's given you, stunt riding's given you confidence?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's changed my whole life.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Get Vertical Real Talk. This is a Harley Stunt riding podcast. Our goal with this show and company is to introduce you to the people and ideas that will actually help you level up your stunt riding professionally. In this episode, you're going to meet Cory Tesnisky. He is a two-time first place Brawl winning champion, arguably one of the best Harley stunt riders in the West Coast. That's from my words. I'm excited for you guys to meet him because he is also the owner of Specific Suspension. And he talks about how he started his business from the ground up and his struggles along the way, and as well as how the Harley stunt scene has really helped his business. I think you're going to get to know Tesnisky a little bit because I think he's a little bit of a mysterious guy, you know, and not many people do get to know him. They just see this absolute killer on the bike, but it's dope to get to know him without his helmet on and pick his brain a little bit. He's actually a really smart dude, and he's into like a lot of mental mindset things that he talks about in this podcast. So I'm excited to introduce you to him. Make sure you stay till the end because he shares his morning routine with you. And I think that really is something that a lot of successful people do, is a morning routine. So it's kind of cool to hear someone that's really good at stunt riding do that too. Reminding you guys that we just dropped some new merch. We got kids, women's, and men's collections on our website at getverticalcoaching.com. So be sure to check that out. Now introducing Cory Tesnisky. Well, thanks for coming on, Cory.
Yeah, no
I've been wanting you on for a while, and you just won first place at the Brawl in San Diego. So you're arguably one of the best in at least the West Coast in the Harley stunt scene. Can you like take me back to a time when you weren't the best and how you even got started with this whole Harley stunt riding?
Yeah, I mean, just complete obsession. I mean, didn't matter if I was on a Harley or whatever. It's like as soon as I got a dirt bike, I mean, even before I got a dirt bike, I was obsessed with wanting to ride. And as soon as I got a dirt bike, it was like I've been on one every single day since I got the Harley and then made the switch. So, but yeah, just pure obsession. And then obviously it's just so much fun. I mean, it's, you know, it's unlike any other bike. Guys are getting them and they're just completely obsessing over them. They're so much fun to ride.
So you started on a dirt bike? Would you start doing flat track or?
No, I just started trail riding with my dad, honestly. He had asked me if I wanted to race, whatever, back in the day. And I was like, you know, getting on a gate, lining up with guys is just like, it's terrifying at the same time, but it's such a cool rush. But I was just like, I just kind of want to play ride. I was more interested in like freestyle motocross. But it was just so hard to like find a ramp and a landing and all that stuff. So I just kind of got into off-road, did that for a little bit, had my first off-road race. It was pretty late. I mean, I was in high school, whatever, but, and then like hill climb is really big where I'm from. So, Billings, Montana is like the hill climb capital of the United States, is what everybody says. So did that for a while. And then it wasn't until I moved to Arizona that, I really got into motocross just because there's no tracks in Billings, whatever. The only track was private. And, you know, I started racing motocross and I just completely obsessed with it. So, and I mean, I was 21 by the time I got on the track for the first time. So
Where'd that take you?
I mean, just racing for all the shops I'd worked for. I mean, shops would sponsor me a bike, whatever, and, you know, a lot of stuff I needed, but it was just like I just kept, you just keep trying to go faster and get better. All the guys that are pro, I mean, they pretty much started when they were 2 years old. So it was like I was trying to play catch up. And then as soon as I was like trying to go to Loretta's and stuff and do something, it was just like, it was just burnout. It was just way too much. It was just insane how fast some of the guys are going. And it just like, it wasn't worth it anymore.
You almost have to like ride so much and obsess so much over something that it takes over the rest of your life, where you lose relationships and friendships and all the relationships you have. Is that what happened to you with dirt bikes?
Not really. It's because like everybody went to the track anyways. All my friends did. I would travel kind of with one of my buddies anyways, and race. So it wasn't really taking me away from anything. But yeah, I mean, you ask any privateer or any pro motocrosser, it's like it does take you away from everything if you want to be serious about it. It's way more work than stunt riding, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, physically, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So when did you transition to Harleys, and like what sparked that interest? Like what made you make that transition?
It was, me working here in Phoenix at a shop, and it was the unknown thing, obviously. And then I'd followed Dom and Tallboy on Instagram. We'd never hung out, but, we kind of knew of each other, and, they got Harleys and I wanted one as soon as they got them. And then, Gino, I raced with him almost every weekend and he got one. And it's like all these motocross guys are killing it on the Harleys, and it, just looked like something that I would have a knack for. And I just wanted to do it forever, but I didn't really have the money to do it. I was paying for school, trying to figure out where I wanted to live. I had means to start my business, whatever, way back in the day. So I was just kind of focused on that and trying to find where I wanted to start it, basically, open a shop and stuff. So I was concerned about that before I got into the Harley stuff. So
tell me about your shop. You started a shop? Mm-hmm. That was your first business? Or are you still doing that?
Yeah, still doing it. But I actually was doing it out of my garage in Austin. I think it's probably been like 7 or 8 years now since I started it. I had the idea, I've always wanted to do suspension. I've always been obsessed with it. I mean, I've been doing it on my own dirt bike since I was 14 years old. So, but when I was 21, I was like, it just popped in my head one day at work. I was working at a shop, whatever, and I was like, this is what I'm going to call it. This is what I want to do. So, it's been 13 years that I've wanted to do it, whatever, and I've kind of pursued it. But it wasn't until I kind of got hooked up with some real suspension guys here in Phoenix that were, revolving stuff, that had the knowledge. They're just, you can't find any knowledge about it. It's just
gate kept.
For sure. And finally some guys just helped me out with a few things and got some valving, got like a one valving sheet for my KX450 and did it all myself. And then it kind of like opened the door for, I had other pro motocross buddies, and they're like, you want to do my stuff? And I'm like, yeah, and did their stuff, and they loved it. And I just, been working on it every day since. So opened up a shop. It's probably been 5 years now since I've had the shop open. So
you started making your own suspension first, and then your friends were like, can you make me some?
I was always the kid in high school that guys were like, can you do my fork seals or whatever? So, yeah.
So you've been doing it that long?
Yeah.
How old are you?
30. I turned 35 in August.
And you've been stunt riding Harleys for how long?
I think I got my bike in 2019. Yeah.
Okay. So like, what is it? 5 years? 5 years now. Damn. And you already had an in with the Harley stunt scene because you were friends with like Gino and Tallboy and Dom.
Yeah. Like
through the dirt bike scene, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, like I said, I didn't really hang out with them. I did a couple times, but I never really got to hang out with anybody. So, except Gino.
Did they help you with your build? Like, how'd you even get into?
Not really. I'm not that person that like asks people. Like, there was some questions, but I just wanted to like figure out everything on my own type of deal. That's how I've always been.
Really?
It was like back then it just seemed like you would ask guys about setup and they're getting bombarded with questions back then. So it's like nobody really wanted to help you anyways.
Do you think that's how it still is for new guys?
Not really. I feel like kind of a lot of people do want to help, but people that have a following on Instagram, they're just getting bombarded with questions. And it's just like, it's kind of a lot sometimes too, but
it is a lot. It is a lot. That's why we made the course that we were selling, because like they ask us over and over. So like, hey, just click here and it's everything you need to know, just written down like a book.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? I hope you're enjoying the episode. Real quick plug. I want to invite you guys to our online wheelie coaching course. This is exclusively made for Harley riders. We created a 3-stage progression method that is guaranteed to teach you how to wheelie. This is for day one learning riders. It's broken down from day one all the way to balance point. With this course, you get our exclusive members only Get Vertical app that makes it easier to access while you're at the lot practicing. You also get to join our Facebook community where we have a group experts in there all ready to help, and other Harley Stunt riders learning from each other. You'll also get invited with online group coaching with Bruce and I, where you can ask us direct questions about your progress and any struggles you're having. You can sign up at getverticalcoaching.com. Link will be in the description. Anyways, back to the show. Aren't you doing some sort of training, like one-on-one coaching?
I offered it.
Was that you or is that Dom? That was
me.
Dom too.
Yeah, it was me. I definitely kind of sparked that in Dom to make an announcement about it.
It's hard to like put yourself out there.
It is. There's been a lot of guys that have asked to do it, but it was funny when I, made it serious. I actually created a big, sheet about it. Like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is how it's going to be organized. This is how much it's going to be. And, there's like 30 people that messaged me, and I sent it all to everybody, and they didn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
So
it's hard, and you have to constantly market the shit.
Yeah.
But is it still available? Like, how can people sign up? Or are you not interested in doing it anymore?
I kind of am interested in it, but just because of that, I'm just like, I don't really care to anymore. I got so much other stuff going on. It's like, I don't want to do it unless, 3 to 5 guys are signing up anyways.
Unless they're serious.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. It's because it's like, it's such a commitment. It's just like the gym or working out. Like maybe they want to, but it's literally a lifestyle. You have to commit to a lifestyle. And not only that, financially commit.
Yeah.
And you can't just ride once a month. You have to ride multiple times a week, especially when you're learning.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
I mean, how much did you ride when you first started learning?
Every day.
Yeah. Everyone I talk to says that.
Yeah.
Every single person I interview, including myself, rode every single day.
Yeah. I just wanted to. I just think about riding all day, every day. So.
Do you still ride that much?
I try to, for sure. It's been hard. I just feel like the older I get, the busier you get. And it's just like, I do set aside time to ride the bike. But even if it's like going to the grocery store, or going to the gym, whatever, it's like
seat time.
Riding the bike, yeah, helps. And I'm screwing around. I'm definitely screwing around,
on the way there,
and on the way back. So. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like our generation is starting to slow down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And a new generation is going to eventually take over.
Mm-hmm.
What are you seeing the future of Harley Stunt riding? Like the next generation, what do you see?
I mean, I really think it's going to take off. I mean, I hope it does. There's just so many people that are getting into it. And then the Harley Stunt Facebook, it went from 7,000 members, and it's at like 30,000 now or something.
It's insane.
Yeah. So
I know we started ours like, I want to say a year ago. I don't know what it's at now, but I think it's like, it's got to be like at least 10,000 maybe.
yeah.
That's not really pushing it or anything. It's we're getting people just searching it and finding it and wanting to join daily. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the scene's growing fast. It's just, I think that it's going to get bigger and bigger. It's going to eventually turn into the street bike scene.
Yeah. And obviously drifter cross is like, it's just opening another door of interest for everybody. Everybody, messages me. They're like, hey, I want to build a drifter cross bike. I'm like, well, it's pretty much the same thing. It's like,
yeah. Are you, you just told me off camera that you're building a bike for drifter cross. Is that for you or for your buddy?
Yeah, me and Stretch are building just another Dyna just for me, for drifter cross, only because I'm just flying into Ohio, but I am trying to build a drifter cross bike with somebody. I mean, I've kind of been hooked up with some guys at Indian, and kind of been talking to them. It's been kind of difficult, but, I have a pretty good idea of what bike is going to go super fast, and I don't think it's the Dyna.
Like a Sportster, the new Super Cruiser.
Like what
the Buell
Cruisy picked up or something like that.
Is that what he's building it for?
No,
oh.
But yeah, there's just a lighter, a bike with more horsepower. I mean, is going to go faster as far as drifting it. It doesn't really drift as well, but if you can drift it safely, it's going to go way faster.
That's how Sportsters are going to be cool again.
Yeah, it's just, I feel like it's tough drifting a Sportster just because it wants to hook up the whole time. So
are you building a specific suspension for that? Like, what is your recommendation for a drifter cross bike?
I mean, it just has to be set up, firm enough to not, compress and unload like a spongy off-road bike, which all these, the Harley guys are riding now. It's like, it needs to be set up like a race car. It needs to have enough give in it so it hooks up and has traction, but it has to be firm enough to be stable when you crank it into a corner and stuff like that.
So you almost need a specific bike for drifter cross because it's different than a bike that you would want to wheelie.
Nah.
No? You can still use the same?
Yeah.
So do you run stiff or hard rear suspension?
I mean, I don't really use that term. Pretty much no. Not a lot of suspension guys. It's not that simple. It's not stiff or hard. You can change the stroke, the top of the stroke, the midsection and bottoming on a fork if it's tunable. So it's like, honestly, you do want like a progressive feel, especially for a stunt bike. I mean, a lot of us are riding the streets half the time anyways, so you want some bump absorption and stuff like that. So, but as far as like, if you were to say softer or stiffer or whatever, I mean, I've always been like a stiff suspension kind of guy, even on my motocross bike. But you can build it to have comfort cruising on the road too, and then have it progressive enough to slam down and not clunk and stuff like that. So
what about your front end?
You should match. If you want a good handling motorcycle, you need to match the front and rear to react the same and have the same dampening characteristic. So you don't want the front to be mushy and the back to be completely stiff. It's going to throw the bike off, especially if you go into a corner hard, whatever. So,
what really fucking blows? This LEXIN P5 Advanced Smart Tire Pump. It blows up to 150 PSI. So when you guys see me giving you free smoke all day, it's because I got my LEXIN P5 with me and I'm able to change my tire anywhere I go. It's super compact and it could fit in your backpack or your saddlebags, and it also doubles as a phone charger. It's super fancy, comes with a digital adjustable setting that you just set and go. So loosen the pressure and get yourself a LEXIN P5. And you can use my discount code GETVERTICAL for 15% off lexin-moto.com. What other setup advice do you have?
A lot, actually.
Okay, tell me. I need to know all the secrets, and so does my audience.
It's just like what section do you need to know? I mean,
the whole damn bike. What's a secret that people, like a secret mod that you might have done that no one really thinks about, that you forget to tell people about because it's just so little, but it really changed the game?
I mean, the basic thing that you come across with stunt riding the Harley is just like there's no companies really, building suspension to suit the demand of stunt riding. Everything you buy off the shelf is for cruising down the road and, keeping your front wheel on the ground. So, you need to have, I just found out, years ago, I'm just like, nobody's making springs to kind of suit this stuff. And, you can go on Racetech's website, order some stuff, and they'll give you like, DVS valving sheet, whatever, but it's still not right for what you need for stunt riding and stuff like that. So, after, years of, me and Shaky Jake testing stuff on his bike and my stuff, and finally found, a spring rate and valving that works really, really well. You can ask anybody that's running my stuff and they're just like, it's so good. It's knowing the setup. And I've seen some stuff that like Big Bear is making too, and they're doing kind of the same thing. They're getting springs made, and all their suspension guys are freaking amazing. But there's just a little stuff that me, just being the rider I am, that I just changing little stuff on their setup just to really dial it in. But it's just I've gained a lot of knowledge on like setup that I don't think anybody else has right now. So
can you tell my audience and me, like, all about your what you sell? Like, it's specific suspension, but tell me about it. Like, what do you actually sell?
I'm just, tailoring your motorcycle to you, basically. You want to suit whatever, you take it to a tailor and they'll, make it for your waist and your body type, whatever. So, just like a motocross bike, it's like if you want to really race and be one with your machine, you're going to need it set up for your weight and set up for your speed and set up for what terrain you're using it for, because it all reacts differently. Motocross bike, you don't really want that suspension for off-road to soak up roots and rocks and stuff like that. So, that's what I do is just, custom tailor your motorcycle for you and what you're using it for.
Oh, so you make suspensions specifically for that rider?
Yeah.
Like if I were to hit you up and I say, I want suspension made for my Dyna, and I'm doing wheelies on it, and burnouts.
Yeah. Yeah, you give me your weight, you give me the year, make, and model, and what type of riding you're doing, and I can set it up.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And you make rear and front?
So rear is kind of tricky because like Legend stuff, they don't, sell like rebuild parts for that too. So it's like, I don't want to open up some guy's stuff if I can't rebuild it as well too. I want everything to be fresh. So shocks have kind of been tough, but as far as forks go, I have all the stuff to do forks. I can do shocks as well too, pull them apart, revalve everything. And then the same thing is like, nobody's really making the spring rates to really suit this stuff. It needs to be a little stiffer, but not that much. So like the forks, I'm getting springs made for like 39 mil stuff just because it's not available. The 49 stuff, you can pretty much buy all that stuff, but just the knowledge to set it up right isn't there.
So you've been in business for how many years? Like 10 years?
About I mean, technically about
8?
5 years. I started the Instagram like 7 or 8 years ago, but I've had like a legit shop for 5 years, whatever. I've just been doing it out of my garage for a couple years.
So you obsess over everything, huh? You get do you get hyper focused on something? Like if you want something, do you get super hyper focused on it and you don't see anything else?
I wouldn't say so. Not really.
Okay.
I mean, riding bikes. Yeah. I mean, I've always obsessed over riding, but I don't know. I'm kind of ADD too. So
That's why I was asking you because that's a symptom of ADD if you get super hyper focused. And I just found that out about myself. I think I'm ADD because I get super focused on something and I hyper fixate on it. And then I just go full throttle.
Yeah.
And I don't see anything else. I won't eat. I can't sleep. Like, it's bad.
I don't get that bad.
Not even with riding?
I mean, I feel like when I got the Harley at first, yeah, I was that bad.
Are you in your prime right now? Stunt riding prime?
I think like probably, yeah. I feel like 35 is like that age where you're just like mentally, you have all the knowledge like to be mentally prime. And then like as far as like physically prime, it's like I've just like came up with, you know, all this knowledge about stretching and working on. I mean, I've been in the gym since high school, whatever, but it's like just finding out new stuff every day, you know, on podcasts and stuff like, you know, benefits to be more athletic and stuff like that. But, you know, it's a big mental thing too. But yeah, I think, you know, I'm at that age where it's like, yeah, prime mental and physical. I mean, that's what they say about, you know, a lot of the MMA guys. It's like they're around that age is their prime. So
Do you work out for your specifically for stunt riding, or like when you go to the gym, do you think about shit you want to do in stunt riding, like your helmet drags and shit? Like, oh, I need to tighten up my core or stretch, open up my chest so I can reach back.
Yeah, I mean, I do stretch a lot. I've stretched almost all day.
What do you focus on?
That's the biggest thing. I mean, mostly just like, I mean, your entire body, you know, legs and neck and back and arms and stuff like that. Obviously arms are huge and we were stretching out hand drags and stuff like that. And then it's just like, if we do crash, I mean, it's so good to have all your muscles stretched out so you don't pull something.
Do you stretch before you ride?
A little bit. I try to, if I'm like doing, you know, a stunt show or the brawl or whatever. Yeah, I definitely do stretch.
When you're gonna ride hard? It's
a noticeable difference. But as far as like working out, yeah, I will do like core workouts just to do like really long no-handers. That's definitely helped. But it was like back in the day when I was, you know, researching all these motocross workouts and trying to do like the same workouts that the pros would do. It's just like, that would never help. It takes way more knowledge than it's even available to actually benefit from working out and benefit on the bike. It usually does the opposite of when you do work out and try to ride like that on the bike. You get arm pump more. I feel like it tires you out more. So the only thing I've ever found to like really have that stamina on the bike is just to ride.
Just to keep riding.
Yeah, you just have to be on the bike all the time.
Well, and with the foot brake guys, you guys aren't jumping around too much, so it's not like you need cardio or like with like HIIT workouts.
Yeah, I do that stuff a little bit. I do a fair amount of cardio, but yeah.
Like when you have handbrakes on the street bikes anyways, and you're jumping up on the tank and shit and like jumping down and jumping back up onto your seat from sit down, you have to like practice jumping on boxes.
Yeah.
Because you have to like be able to get air.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see yourself ever getting a handbrake?
I thought about it. I always wanted to put one on the bike just because it just opened a door for new stuff, but I just don't want to, honestly. I don't think I would on my bike. I just like, a stock looking clean bike. And then, it just changes the speed of your riding too. It's like anybody with a handbrake, it just slows everything down sort of thing.
It's a totally different style.
Yeah.
I mean, you're killing circles already on the foot brake.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's like, it's one of those things. Like I remember, I'd see Joey do it, 4 or 5 years ago. I'm just like, how long is it taking you to do this? And he's like, it's taken 5 years to do this.
Forever.
And I feel like just now I'm starting to get it down, but like obviously in competition, it's like, it's way harder to really focus. Like I feel like you really need to focus. Like I can't listen to music when I'm doing them. Like you really have to focus on dipping in and then kind of letting it float and then giving it gas at the right moments and then just carrying it around and stuff like that. So
did you learn foot up?
Yeah.
Or did you have to break the habit of?
No, I didn't want to have to break the habit because once I started doing foot down, I'm like, oh, this is too easy. And that's what Shaky Jake was saying. He's like, it's just too easy. And it's like, I knew that it was going to make me break a habit just from riding motocross and stuff like that. It's just like, I wanted to just like relentlessly foot up,
learn the right way
50 times a day and learn the right way. But, seeing Joey do it still, I mean, he's doing it differently than anybody else. It's like, yeah. And then I've like done it so much kind of by myself and try to figure out on my own. Like I've almost put some bad habits into doing it. There's definitely stuff I should change, kind of relearn, trying it, whatever.
I feel like that's like stunt riding is constantly learning bad habits and then trying to break them constantly.
That's any motorcycle riding, I feel like.
What bad habits are you breaking right now with circles?
Well, it was like forever. I'm just like, I'm going to try to focus on just doing one. Just do one.
One good one.
Because just doing one is so rewarding. So I'll do that. That's gotten stuck in my head too. Just doing one, but it's like, I'll come in and I'll just ride the rear brake too. And I'll try to do like I'm tight, whatever. Like I want to go like really wide, but at the same time, if you do a wide one, you have to be really leaned in, committed, or because the bike just wants to stand up when you're doing super wide. So it's super scary to do it wide. Like I have video still of Joey coming in, like, he'll do one like 30 foot in diameter, just
wide and lean.
It's
faster.
insane. Completely insane.
So you can't just like go slow in a circle, like a recon.
You could, but I feel like that's maybe even harder. The bike doesn't want to be at that point to go that slow and kind of do one like in a 15-foot diameter. The bike doesn't really want to do that.
Do you use clutch?
Yeah, you have to.
Fuck, man.
I
want to learn circles.
Yeah, I feel like you really can't use the gas.
I don't want to use the clutch.
It's really hard. I've been trying to find the right clutch to do it too.
So, what do you run right now?
I have the Elite back on it now.
Have you ever tried an RC?
I have not. That's what I've wanted to run.
Check it out.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I ran it my whole life.
Yeah.
It's just comfortable because it's really smooth.
Yeah.
And it comes with a little hook.
That looks like a one finger.
Well, they came out before that, so you can't say nothing about that.
I mean, I've put my hand on, people's clutches that have RSC, whatever, and I'm like, man, this feels really good. It is something I do want to try.
It's super smooth
and
then really good customer service. You can run it for literally a lifetime.
Yeah.
This is not an advertisement, but I'm like,
I'd love
how
to try
like clutch people, like once you find a clutch you like, you're a diehard fan and you'll fight to the death. Like this is on all those threads of what clutch lever do you run? Everyone's like diehard Elite or diehard RSC or diehard,
Yeah.
one finger. Like no one switches once you find a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have seen that. It's like a lot of people are saying RSC, whatever. I don't know. I don't really, I don't know.
They've been in the game for so fucking long.
They have.
There's got to be a reason.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason. But it's like, not only are you looking for like that feel on the Harley, it's also like disengagement and like banging gears too, just because I have like a really old Elite on my bike still. I don't know why. I just need to buy one. I actually talked to him in San Diego, whatever. But you really have to take a lot of cable slack out to get it to like shift really quickly. As the one finger, I would just like banging gears like crazy. But disengagement wasn't as smooth. Like I took it off because I wanted to do circles.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's the only downside. But I'm just being really particular too. I'm just like, I've gotten to the bike to the point where like everything is just really dialed in. Like I'm still just changing just little tiny bits here or there.
It's crazy how that really matters. Like I've been riding this Dyna for a year now and it's still not dialed.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help. I have a husband that every time he rides it, he switches my shit up. So be grateful you don't have that going on. He'll switch my clutch engagement without telling me. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Because you'll get on there and you have to relearn like where your engagement is. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting really good at like just riding with whatever the fuck, you know, but I'm not really doing anything crazy anymore. Yeah. So you said you're in your prime, your stunt riding prime. What's the craziest trick you're doing right now? Is it the head drags?
I mean, like, I've been trying double handers. I feel like that's way crazier. Trying the head drag, like the first couple times, like it feels super crazy, but I feel like now it's just a big hand drag pretty much.
Just deeper.
Yeah. It's really not that crazy. I feel like the double hand drag is definitely feels crazier, more dangerous for sure, just because you have to like pivot your body like way back unnaturally. And like I'm not about like trying to do a quick one either. Like I see guys just like take their hands off really quick.
Get the picture. Get the screenshot.
Like the ones I've tried, I'm just like coasting like a no-hander forever, and like I'm like that far from the ground.
Oh fuck.
But that's what Sam says. He's like, Sam is just like, he said he's doing super long ones. I mean, he has posted some really long ones too, but I like that type of stuff. You know, you want it to look good too. Mm-hmm. I'm all about, stuff that looks cool.
So is that the craziest?
I feel like it.
So where does it go from here?
I don't know. I want to do like more stand-up stuff, but that not having a break and stuff is just like, that's really dangerous. I mean, I almost looped out in practice, just jumping to the seat the other day.
Oh, really? On Friday?
On Friday.
Fuck, dude.
Just road balance point for 10 feet or
You
whatever.
don't think it looks like, do you guys really notice that much with the handbrake? It looks that set up?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it really slows it down. I feel like even if it slows it down a little bit, guys.
What do you mean slows it down?
Like slows your speed, slows all the tricks down. And I feel like Nick's out there, on Saturday, whatever, he's still going really fast. Like he does everything pretty fast. I mean, same with One Real Rob, but like he's been doing it for a decade.
I mean, you can always make it your own style too,
I could. I feel like I just want another bike to do that with too.
Or maybe you can build like a Sportster type of drifter cross bike and then put a handbrake on there, dent the tank, do all this, like stun it out.
Oh boy.
And then it's just see. Then sell it if you don't like it.
That's just not.
You don't even have to post it so no one knows.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like eventually I will, just because, just doing it for so long, you
get bored.
Kind of get bored.
I feel like that's why guys quit.
Yeah.
They get bored. I mean, like, head drags and double hand drags aren't for everyone. No. So like they do a hand drag and then like what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then again, wheelies are kind of boring on the Harley. I'm not going to lie.
I just still don't get bored. I don't know. I feel like every time I pop up the first wheelie of the day, I'm like, man, that's so much fun. Still, and then like learning how to swerve on the Harley too. That's like a whole nother thing. Like really being able to swerve the bike around and stuff. That's really fun too.
Or you can maybe take some inspiration like Sammy does from the Brazilian guys.
Oh God.
They're fucking crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like doing that and stuff. It's like, I don't know. Just there's definitely just more danger in it too. And obviously I'm like running my shop and stuff like that. I'm kind of at that age where I'm not trying to do that stuff either, I guess.
See, you're getting to the retirement age, dude. Maybe you're leaving out of your prime.
I don't know. I do like to do crazy stuff though all the time, but it's just like, I don't know. I'll leave that for those guys.
Yeah. You're going to pass the baton. Okay, I seriously cannot be the only one that does not trust insurance companies. Don't you feel like they never pay you what you deserve for your accident? That's why I always call Law Tigers. They're specialized motorcycle attorneys. Yes, there's a difference between motorcycles and cars. That's why you need to call Law Tigers, because they are the experts and you are not. And what's dope about them is you don't have to pay anything out of pocket. It comes out of your settlement. So if they don't get you paid, then they don't get paid. And the best part is once you call them, they take care of everything for you. You don't have to think about it at all until you're signing the paperwork saying case closed. Don't let these insurance companies screw you over. Call Law Tigers and tell them that Drea sent you. If you're local to Arizona, call my boy Jay. I'll leave his info in the description below. That's good that you're able to like transition out of it like smoothly, because there's some guys out there that have a hard time letting it go, you know?
Yeah.
And it's their full identity, but you have a business, so that helps.
Yeah.
Because definitely doing this type of stuff and like starting a business around stunt riding where I still feel like I'm a part of the scene, but I don't have to be the best anymore.
Yeah.
It really like helped ease the weight of not feeling like I have to ride all the time.
Yeah.
Because it takes, like we were saying, it takes you to be good at anything. You have to do it 100%, if not 110%.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the reality of it. And success is rented. It's not owned. You know, that saying. So.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself focusing more on the business side of shit versus like stunt riding?
I mean, the whole business thing is really tough. I mean, it's been one of the most challenging things that I've ever had to do. I mean, everybody thinks that it's a piece of cake and it's like, oh, I have all this free time and stuff like that. I get to be my own boss. But at the same time, it's like running a storefront kind of by myself and then being the manager and filling all the roles of a business is like, it takes a lot out. It's just getting harder too. I mean, you know, a lot of the bigger cities, you know, like Austin and stuff, they don't even want people opening up motorcycle shops. It was so difficult to even open it up. And then, you know, I got guys in there inspecting the place and stuff too. Like all the time, they just walk in, whatever. They don't care. But
what?
Yeah. But like suspension is definitely the hardest part of, you know, a motorcycle, you know, building, whatever. Like, you know, everybody builds motors and stuff. It's pretty straightforward, but like to build suspension for each person is like, it takes a lot of time.
And tweaking.
And then tweaking everything. You want it really good. So let's build it, let's install it, and then let's go ride it and test it and like make changes from there. You know, I worked with some motocross racers just for so many hours. It's like 40 hours to get a bike really set up. Like, that's
hard. Like, do you ever get customers that don't even know what they need? So if I were to come to you, I wouldn't even know what the fuck I need.
It doesn't matter. You just need to give me your make and model and your weight and what type of riding you want to do. And that's all. So a lot of guys, they don't know. And, you know, I'll suggest what works for you. I mean, I was just talking to my friend the other day and I was just like, I'm not a salesman. I'll talk you out of not going through me and doing something else if it's going to suit you better, like I don't care. Like I make enough money to pay the bills and whatever. So I don't really care.
So at your shop, you only do suspension, or do you do the regular shop type of activities?
I've kind of strayed away from doing regular shop stuff just because it's just like, I feel like I need to focus on suspension. It's just like, it's kind of funny how I've just been put in the right place at the right time. And I feel like the Harley Stunt thing is like, everybody's struggling with their bikes, and it's definitely easier too. It's what I enjoy more. So I've kind of strayed away from doing motors and stuff like that, even though I've done it my whole life. It just takes way longer. Guys will bring like a thrashed old Yamaha dirt bike to me, and they're like, just build the whole thing and we'll spend, this much money on it, whatever. But it's like, that stuff just takes so much of my time and stuff. It's like, I can build suspension pretty quick. So I'm just trying to do that. I'm just trying to focus on that. I will take in, motor work and stuff a little bit, but just to like fill in the gap. But
you're saying like that's your passion, but now that you're growing and growing and growing, now you're becoming a manager. Now you're having to manage a storefront, all the things that you didn't really want to do in the beginning. How's that going for you? Just curious.
Like I said, it's tough. It's really tough. I definitely I'm trying to like find a secretary right now, but it's like a lot of guys calling, they don't want to talk to somebody that doesn't know anything. It's like, they want to talk to me. They want to get real information. It's like, it's like, it's a lot of in-depth information. It takes a lot of time. And then for me to do that and do everything else, it's like, it's impossible. So it's like, I really need to like, I've been trying to like really get like a training, training information written down so I can like hire a secretary, or hopefully somebody that like kind of knows suspension a little bit, but at the same time is like, I'm not racking in money like all the other companies. It's like, it's tough to pay people now just because minimum wage has gone up so much too.
And pay someone to sit by the phone until it rings.
That's tough too.
That is knowledgeable and experienced.
Yeah, that's really tough. It's like, I was, trying to hire someone the other day, whatever. And I'm just like, some days I'll get one email and no calls. And some days I'll get a ton of calls and a ton of emails. So
those in-depth questions, just curious, are they specific questions, or are they questions that are continuously asked over and over?
The majority of them, but and then not really too.
So I have a question for you. Have you ever considered making content on that as an expert, since you just said that people gatekeep all that shit all the time? If you're the only one making that content, people start seeing you as an expert. They realize they don't want to do it themselves, and then they come to you. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, it's selling your suspension.
Yeah. It's something
and then you can point people in that direction instead of answering phone calls all day.
Yeah. It's something that it's kind of in the works right now, actually. So I do have more stuff that I want to kind of make for the Harley Stunt scene, that everybody's been asking for a kit, and it's still going to involve me building each setup, each kit, and sending it out, but it'll be a lot less wait time. It'll cost less since they don't have to pay for labor and all that stuff. But then it's like, the downside of that is, okay, I'm trusting these people to like have a suspension guy do it, which there's not really that many out there. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have to make like a really in-depth training video and trust that these guys, are going to do everything right. But, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to mess up one little thing, and they're going to, the phone's going to be ringing off the hook saying,
it's like a kind of like a DIY kit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But you're right. There's going to be questions. And people fucking up, and
yeah, the training videos, they're going to have to be like really in depth. I mean, which, I mean, it's just Harley forks. It's not that complicated. It's not a motocross bike. So there's steps to it. You just have to get them all right.
Yeah. Well, so are you planning on making like public content or no?
I mean, like I was telling Petter, I just hate being in front of a camera, honestly.
Really? That's weird because you were excited to be on the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's a good time, and we talked about it forever, and I just need to do it. But
it is different though when it's scripted.
Yeah.
When it's a conversation,
yeah,
it's fine because people expect mess ups. They actually enjoy hearing you be real and fuck up from time to time. But when you're making like a tutorial or some sort of scripted content where you have to get it out or people are going to click off, it's like, man. But it's just like writing, to be honest. You just got to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it.
Yeah.
And it'll get easier and easier and you'll care less and less.
Yeah. So like I built my van, whatever, and I'm like, I'm just going to film the whole thing like I'm filming a YouTube thing so I can like get some practice maybe. So I have been doing that. And it's like, obviously the first like 10 times, whatever, I'm just like talking so slow and I'm like kind of thinking about what to say and all this stuff. I don't know who's going to watch it because some of it's just so slow.
Well, yeah. And then you realize all the annoying things that you do. Yeah. And you're like, I can't believe that people don't tell me that I do that. Like the annoying speech things you do. Like I do this thing where I go a lot.
Me too.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
That's so weird. So maybe no one else notices but me when I'm editing and it drives me fucking nuts. I hate it.
Yeah, at least the YouTube stuff, you can go back in and edit, whatever. But I just like I said, I'm just like, I'm so busy with everything. I just want to bang it out. Just one take, too. So
I know. And then you're like installing and shit, and it takes even longer because you're filming, and then you have to edit it.
That's the thing. It's like, I think I'm going to try to find somebody to do all that stuff. Petter's definitely offered to come film and edit and all that stuff, but
he's so far.
And then like he wants to move to Austin. He's always
really?
To,
I love Petter.
At the same time, it's like, you know, you got to pay him well. He's going to do a really good job. So it's like trying to find funding for that. But it would be cool. I feel like I got a lot of cool stuff I'd like to put on YouTube and stuff, but it just takes so much time.
Start yourself, get a sponsor for your YouTube, and then have the sponsor pay. That's what I do for my dude.
Yeah. Yeah, just another thing.
Yeah, it's a whole nother business, to be honest. It's straight up a whole separate business from what you're doing now.
But probably be worth it.
Or if you have that secretary and they can film also when their phones aren't ringing, film content and edit at the same time.
Yeah.
And they actually know what they're looking at when they're editing because they understand suspension.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to think about.
There's a lot. I'm proud of you, though, for killing it with your business. That's dope.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's not easy to do any of that shit.
It is.
How has stunt riding helped?
I guess it's helped is like it's just like another door is opened. It's like I've found another section of motorcycles where like the knowledge and the setup kind of isn't there, and it's like it's really motivating to like have new knowledge on that to help people out. And it's just like I don't know, the motocross thing is cool and all, but it does get like stale, whatever. It's just like doing motocross bikes all the time. It's way harder. I mean, there's 20 pieces in a Harley fork. There's 500 pieces in a motocross fork. So
are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
So it's a lot easier, and it's like, yeah, like I said, it's just like I have information that kind of nobody else has, and that's really cool too. Me being, top rider and working on stuff. So
you saw a gap in the market.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude, run it. Just keep going. There's literally no way to fail if you keep going.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I would like. It takes a lot of funding. That's the thing about suspension is like all these companies are like, got millions of dollars to, have a suspension dyno and all this money for manufacturing, and it's like, yeah, it takes a lot of funding to do all that stuff too. So when people like see how much, it is. I mean, I'm trying to keep everything like really low cost. I mean, all my setups are, pretty much under $1,000, unless you want like coatings and tubes and stuff like that. Then yeah, it's going to get over $1,000, but it's like half or more of that money is going into buying parts. It's like, it's just not like it's going to me, whatever, for labor costs, whatever. So a lot of that cost is just parts. So
that's the hardest part about business is actually paying yourself.
Yeah.
That's hard. But you know what? If you start making content, I swear it'll just funnel back into the business somehow. Because the fans will start liking you. They like you as a stunt rider now. But if you don't talk to them, they don't know you.
Yeah.
They might think you're dope and you're a sick rider, but they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're watching some fucking home improvement guy on YouTube because you're trying to fix a sink. You're going to listen to the guy that you actually like watching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus like someone you don't connect with.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be someone for you, like someone might connect with you, but doesn't connect with someone else. And someone else might connect with that guy and doesn't connect with you, So even if you get competition, it doesn't matter because people are going to go to you because they like Cory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just, like I said, it's just tough. Even to make like a real post, like a real good post or whatever, a post I've been wanting to, like it takes half the day, to really kind of film something and then kind of voice it in the right, a quick wording to get it out and stuff like that. So
that it's not boring.
Yeah. And then it's like, I need to be physically working and like getting work out and the phone's ringing and all that stuff.
Dude, tell me about it. It's fucking hard. You know what you should do? Okay. This is what people do. They batch content. Yeah. So they say this day or this week or whatever it is, I'm filming all of this, and they have a whole fucking calendar. Mm-hmm. And they batch it. And then you literally say, this day is for that.
Yeah.
So the phone can be ringing off the hook, or you're off that day. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're doing that day, is filming that.
Yeah. But I kind of think about that, but it's like a lot of these ideas will just kind of come to me throughout the day too. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of like a really good way to kind of word that, or a really unique way to sell this or that. So when it comes to me, I'll definitely try to make it and then try to wait for another day to kind of release it, whatever too. But
yeah, it's a whole ordeal.
Yep.
Well, I got some questions from the audience for you.
Yeah.
Let me see. I forgot to tell you when you reshare the story to put your own question box, because then your audience that sees your story can actually comment in the box.
Oh yeah.
I know. But I got some good ones. Okay. Oh, this is actually a really good one. I love her. Jen Kopak. She asked, has landing any of your new tricks compared to the feeling of your first wheelie? Probably like the high you get,
I mean, I feel like doing wheelies for the first time, the high was way more than it is like doing a big trick, whatever.
Because that was a long progression. Comparative?
It was just like, because riding the Harley was so new and it just felt so crazy.
Do you think that's what we're chasing, is that high?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What about circles? That you don't feel like that in circles?
Not really anymore. I just feel like I've done it so much that, yeah, the last 3 years doing it, getting like 2 circles or something, and just has it fully clicked for you yet though? Yeah, like I know all the steps to do. It's just getting them all right.
But it's not second nature yet.
I feel like it is just starting to be second nature. Because I can like, I've been able to do them in competition. Like whatever Saturday I did one, but it wasn't very good. But I mean, being able to do it in competition, you have to be able to kind of do it right off the bat. But yeah, I can pretty much the first one I do, I can pretty much do one right off the bat. Pretty much do in 3 tries now.
3 in a row?
No, like at least I can do 1 out of 3 tries, whatever.
Oh, so. Okay. I think you'll get high once it really fucking clicks.
Oh yeah.
Off of that. Because it took me literally like probably 2 years of not doing anything else but circling my street bike before it clicked. And I knew that day it clicked. And I was actually, I was higher off of that than learning wheelies.
Yeah.
And it lasted like, actually the high lasted like a week. And then after that, I was like, okay, what's next?
Yeah. Doing like really long no-handers, I would get that. That's definitely high. And then like I've been doing like the really long no-hander into the circle wheelie, and like being able to like catch the no-hander and then immediately dip it in like that. That's
sick, dude.
High, so.
That's dope.
Yeah. I guess that trick is definitely a rush. So
keep practicing that then.
Yeah.
If that gets you high.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, Cyrus Diaz 711. What is the trick to learning how to helmet drag?
So it's just finding where, realistically, it's just finding, the first thing is finding where your scrape plate is, to be honest. And I mean, I actually remember like looking at his bike and like seeing where his scrape plate is, but it honestly needs to be really deep. Me and Sam Taylor's fender is super deep. If you're not a tall guy, that's a thing too. So just, you really need to like get it right to the scrape plate, and then you can just lean all the way back.
So do you scrape or no?
I try not to, because, looping out, it's like you can hit the scrape plate a little too hard and loop out. I mean, you're already so far back there, you really don't want to like smack the scrape plate because you'll go right over. Like you're already that far back. So it just kind of like barely touching it really, and then you can just lean it all the way back. And
where's your fender cut? At the bolt?
I think I cut it 1 inch past the top license plate bolt.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good info. All right, let's see. Spin the Block wants to know, what has been your biggest challenge starting a business in the Harley stunt scene?
I mean, technically I didn't start it during like the Harley stunt scene or whatever, but
transitioning maybe.
Yeah, definitely transitioning to that. I think the hardest thing is a lot of those guys aren't accustomed to like the suspension industry, whereas like the motocross guys, like they're all used to that. They all know, like, if you want your bike set up, you're going to have to take your suspension off and send it in and have it set up for your weight and all that stuff. So it's like a lot of guys don't know that. So it's kind of like educating guys that, if you really want your bike dialed in, like that's what you need to do. Any motorcycle racer, it doesn't matter what style of racing it is, like that's what you need to do.
So how would it benefit me?
Obviously your weight makes a huge difference. I mean, the bike already weighs a ton, so it's just like getting everything set up for that heavy a bike, which is like, that stuff just isn't available. So you need stuff, for slamming down a Harley, but setting up for your weight makes a huge difference.
And making it easier to wheelie and like burn out and stuff, it makes a difference. Yeah,
it'll make drifting really easy. You see a lot of guys try drift that their stuff isn't set up, or they'll just slap some stuff on and the bike is just like bouncing up and down and it's just not stable. Whereas like my bike, if you watch it in a video, it's just super stable. Like it'll compress and unload just a little bit, like just right. So it's not, the bike isn't making a ton of movement where it's completely throwing you off trying to crank it into a corner or something.
So do you think front end suspension is more important for drifts than it is for like wheelies?
I mean, honestly, it's probably both, but it's like if you want to slam down 50 wheelies a day, you're gonna want forks. But to like, I just like, fucked around on a stock bike, the last couple of stock bikes I rode, and I'm just like, it is so hard to commit drifting these things because the forks are just bottoming out and unloading, and it's like there's no stability to it.
What about for burnouts? Because you have to kind of like preload them.
Yeah, I mean, it does help a lot. Especially if you're like, if you're using front brake too, and you have really soft suspension, you'll notice when you kind of like let off the front brake, the forks are like, they'll pop up really quick and stuff like that. The whole bike's wanting to move around too much on you.
It's not consistent.
Yeah, it's not steady and still and consistent.
Yeah, I know. Learning burnout, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Bobby the Butcher. Who is your biggest influence in the stunt community?
I mean, I wouldn't say there's like one person. I mean, obviously, like, I've always looked up to like Dom. I mean, Joey, obviously, Joey 5'5", and like Jason Poland is like, Jason is in his 50s, whatever, and still riding like he's a freaking teenager or whatever. So yeah, I'd say those three guys probably the most. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but
is there anyone that you look up to, like, right? Maybe those guys are the ones that you looked up to your whole riding career, but is there anyone that you're like, man, I want to drift like them, or like I want to circle like that guy, or I like his style and I want to like kind of make my own from that? Do you do that anymore?
No,
at your level?
I definitely like, I feel like you like learning how to ride and stuff like that. It's, you watch guys do stuff too much. It's like, you don't really want to adopt anybody's riding too. You definitely want to go out on your own and just kind of like, you get your own style too and learn how. I feel like you need to learn how to do stuff on your own. That's the way it's going to kind of keep stunt riding unique and alive and stuff like that. But,
or is it that there's not really anyone much better than you besides maybe Jason Poland?
I mean, there's a lot of guys better than me, that's for sure. But
in different areas.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Tall Boy probably has the most rounded bike skill. He's definitely one of the guys I've always looked up to. I mean, he can probably circle wheelie better than a lot of people. He can drift like, nobody's business. But yeah, Joey 5'5" again. I mean, there's a lot of guys. There's really no one person in particular, but
you can think of off the top of your head. Let's see. Stunt House Nick, what's it feel like to be that good? Spill the beans.
I mean, I've always wanted to, like, the whole goal was like, I want to be that comfortable on the bike where I can literally go out and just like carve the streets. Like, and like, I knew I could do it. It just like takes the time being comfortable. And I know that like I'm, still getting that comfortable on the bike. I know it's going to unlock, a whole bunch of other fun and stuff like that. I mean, you see Sea Bear and like Reckless and those guys in street rides, and they're just like just carving the streets. Like, it doesn't matter what
So
surface
sick.
they're on and where they're at. Yeah, but it definitely, it does, like, there's like doors, you know, you're unlocking, like, and it's just like more fun. But yeah, it is really cool. It's almost like to the point now where it's kind of like second nature too. But yeah, I mean, I definitely want, like, strive to, you know, people see me on a bike and, you know, I want to be really well-rounded and just be able to do anything on the bike and flow and be smooth. And
Has stunt riding changed you at all?
100%.
Like, as a person?
Oh yeah. That's another thing, like, I wanted to talk about is I mean, I've kind of been around shitty people and, like, you know, growing up through my 20s and stuff like that. And even, like, growing up in Montana, it's like, there's just a lot of, like, naysayers and negativity, and like riding for a living and stuff like that is like, and like following your passion and stuff like that. Like, a lot of people don't do that. There's like a lot of negativity. Like, people look at you funny. Like, when I told people I wanted to be like a professional motocross rider, or freestyle rider, it's like everybody in Montana just like make fun of me. It's like, you can't do that. It's like
it's a pipe dream.
Yeah. And it's just like, I came into, you know, the world of stunt riding, you know, 5 years ago, whatever, and meeting a lot of these guys, and it's just like, everybody's like really trying to do stuff for their community. They're really like a good-hearted person deep down, like really the best people I've ever met in my life, for sure. Like, really, like, meaningful, good-hearted people. And a lot of people do not realize that. I mean, me racing motocross, whatever, like, nobody wants to help you out. Everybody's kind of like in their own zone and in their own world and whatever, and they don't want to help anybody out. But stunt scene is totally different.
Do you think it's because it's more competitive in that scene?
Yeah.
Where everyone's like literally competing against each other for one, and then they're all fighting against getting the same sponsorships and too many fish in the pond kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The scene's huge and old.
Yeah.
Old in the sense it's been around for a long time. The Harley Stunt scene is super new.
Yeah.
Like, it's been around, but it's just now starting to take off. So maybe that's why. But you compete a lot. Do you feel like that with your boys when you're competing? Like, do you feel like it's a competition, or do you just feel like you're riding with them?
Yeah, it's so ingrained in my head, I think, racing, that, like, I do like to compete. I do enjoy, like, you know, kind of being nervous and like that being on the gate feeling and competing. But at the same time, is like, I realize you're not going to do good in like a stunt competition if my head's in that mindset. Like, the first couple ones, whatever, it's just like you put so much pressure on yourself, like, oh, I need to beat so-and-so or do better than so-and-so. It's just going to mess you up. It's like, the last couple times that I've done really well, it's just like, just focus on having fun and like trying to make the crowd scream and stuff like that. That's when you're going to do good.
So how do you stop getting nervous? Like, what do you do mentally? What goes on in your head?
I mean, I'm big on like meditating every day too. And that definitely helps a lot too. Breath work definitely helps. I mean, usually before I go out, I'll probably do like 10 minutes of breath work.
You're the first person that's ever told me that. I do the
I got
same.
a lot of secrets.
I do the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever I know I'm going to get nervous, even before podcasting, I do breath work.
Yeah, it helps.
It really does. It's huge. What other things do you do for mental mindset stuff for stunt riding?
I mean, I guess another one is just like, it's just like you're here to entertain people. That's really the goal. I mean, if there's no entertainment, there's no money in it. So it's like you should be entertaining the crowd. And like I've always been like this like shy introvert kid growing up, and it's like that was really hard, like doing the brawl the first couple times, and like I'm not looking at anybody and like not interacting with the crowd. But now I freaking love it. Like I'll high five everybody at every stunt show and like want to talk to everybody, and it's like I love that shit. So it's like just doing it for the crowd or whatever, and that definitely takes kind of the nerve out of me.
Do you think it's given you, songwriting's given you confidence?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's changed my whole life. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me too. I think everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love about songwriting, and that's what I aspire to like help people through this podcast, is to encourage them to get into it by seeing that people like you or everyone that I talk to went from a normal person to like a zero to hero.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you can not only like do something cool and dope, but you learn so much about yourself through the journey of learning how to stunt ride.
Yeah.
And you grow, the personal growth is huge.
Oh yeah.
It's huge mentally and, you know, in every way.
Yeah. I mean, guys have called me out on shit, and I've gotten shit for I don't know how much stuff, and it's like definitely needed that, just because, you know, I've always taken stuff a little too seriously, whatever, but same time you kind of need to. I mean, if you want to progress the sport and you want to be good at something, but
like calling you out on what?
Just being too kind of serious about it. Like, I don't know. There was some times where like guys are not even thinking I'm having fun, like riding the brawl or whatever, but I have a blast riding that bike, like no matter what.
You're just in your helmet.
Yeah. I'm always smiling riding the bike. I mean, so, but as far as like, I don't know, it's like a lot of the guys too are taking it seriously. Like Jesse's taking it really seriously. I mean, Shaky Jake was taking it really seriously. I mean, Nate, like, but it's funny that like I would kind of get called out for it more than anybody. I don't know why, I guess, but.
Do you practice your routine?
Like a daily routine, like a morning routine, or like a riding routine?
Well, I'm interested in that just because I'm into that type of shit, but I want to know if you practice a routine for the brawl.
Not really. I feel like if you do, it just gets like stale. It's like, and it's the same time, like I'll think about like, oh, I'm going to go riding and I need to like practice something, which it doesn't really happen. It's like you get on the bike and it's just like a new day, and it's just like you kind of go with the flow, and I just want to go out and have fun and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess there is some stuff. There's some days where I'm like, okay, I need to do like 50 circles today, or I'm going to do like
train.
I'm going to focus on this trick or whatever for a little bit. Yeah, there is a little bit of that, but not that much. It's just like, it's just better. I think better to just go out and have fun on the bike, honestly.
So what's your morning routine?
Well, I mean, waking up like at sunrise is always awesome. So like wake up around there, meditate for probably 20 minutes, take Bailey to the park, whatever. I would like to work out. I typically try to work out in the morning. It's just kind of difficult sometimes, but yeah, work out and then, you know, go to work.
Every morning? What do you meditate to?
Nothing.
Nothing? You just stay silent?
Yeah. Starting out doing it, I feel like, yeah, it was easier to like do it to like meditation music. I wasn't, you're not really sure like how to do it, whatever. But yeah, I just silence, and just kind of focusing on like the tip of your nose or whatever is
And your breath.
how I do it. Yeah.
And how do you stop your brain from fucking going in overdrive?
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing of meditation is like catching yourself thinking about something else and just kind of slowly bringing your attention back to your breath. That's the key. And just doing that over and over and over and over again. You'll get it, but it's still like, you'll meditate for 20 minutes and you'll think about 5 different things or 6 different things still. So you're always going to be thinking about something, but if you're continuously, bringing your thoughts back to your breath, whatever, it just gets easier the more practice. But even after years of doing it in the morning, it's just like your mind's always going to wander, but you'll notice a difference mentally throughout the day. It's like your mind's definitely a little more calm.
I listen to the same guided one every time I meditate.
Oh, really?
But what's weird is when I feel like I need to meditate, like I'm getting anxious or stressed out, I think back to that meditation and his voice, and it just thinking about it calms my body down.
Oh, really?
It's almost like a trigger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or I'll think of, if I really need it, I'll think about like hugging my kids.
Yeah.
And it must be like my serotonin or whatever will just drop my cortisol down, and my anxiety, I could just literally feel it depleting out of my body. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
All that shit's so interesting to me.
Yeah. I mean, I'll get anxious. I'll be like, okay, I need to like sit down and do it. And I'll get anxious. I'm like, no, I don't have time.
Yeah. You get anxious about,
I can't be sitting here.
I don't have time to sit here for 10 minutes.
I can't sit here still and I have emails to answer. I need to freaking do this and that and this and that. But it's like you need to make time for yourself in the morning. So many people don't. And it's like, no, I need to like get to work and I need to
check my Instagram,
do this and that. It's like people really need to focus on making time for themselves. And if you do that in the morning, it'll change your whole life. Like, I won't answer my phone until noon, and people get upset about it. It's like, you need to like stay off your phone and go be in nature or whatever. It's like, it'll change your whole mindset. Go do stuff. You need to take care of yourself. I mean, that's first and foremost. Like, if you want to have a really enjoyable life, like, you really need to take care of yourself. And I'm really blessed to be around like a good group of people in Austin that are all about that. It's like, I'm really blessed to have some friends in Austin that are all about that. So
that's hard to find. Are they stunt riders?
No, no, they do have motorcycles, a couple of them, but, no, they don't, they're not really into that stuff. I mean, I have one buddy that skydives, whatever. I mean, actually a couple of them skydive, but just motorcycles really aren't their thing. Yeah, they do. I will go ride with them really rarely, but.
Do you think any of our other friends are into that type of stuff that are into stunt riding?
Say that again?
Do you think any of our stunt riding friends are in that type of weird shit?
Yeah. Like meditating and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely kind of got people into it, but there's not a whole lot of people like, really, the only person that I feel like is really kind of on the same page as me that rides motorcycles is Ethan White. I mean, if you know Country Grammar.
Yeah.
I mean, me and him, like, when we hang out, it's like we're always talking about like supplements and like eating this and that or meditating and stuff like that. But nobody else really isn't that serious. But I mean,
about mindset,
hanging out with Jesse and Stretch, I mean, I kind of like push that stuff on them a little bit. Like, I'm giving them like supplements and shit in Daytona, and they go, "What is this?" Like, just
take it.
Just take it and tell me how you feel in the week or whatever. But yeah, it's funny how a lot of people are starting to work out now and kind of take things seriously, but it's more so like the quality of food is just turning to shit. Honestly, and like 95% of the food that we eat isn't real food. It's like just commodities.
Totally. Well, and then if you're a stunt rider that travels a lot, how the hell?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I'm glad I have a van now and I have just a fridge in there and just have actual food, like nutritious food to eat all the time. and like turning 30, whatever, your whole body changes. I mean, you actually need nutrition. You're going to be tired all the time especially like trying to work out, like operate my business and ride like multiple times a week. It's like, I'm out of energy.
Oh,
like,
it's so
constantly.
much.
So it's like, I have to eat really, really well. And yeah.
Are there kids anytime soon in your future?
Was that kids? I don't like, no, I don't. I'm still like on and off about like having a kid. There's a lot of my friends that are having kids and like, you know, it's life changing and stuff. I think when the motorcycle thing kind of gets to a point, yeah, maybe it's like, maybe I'll get bored of life at some point and like want a kid just because it's like that. It's just like, yeah, having
it's like having dogs.
Cool. I just want a little dude to like hang out with me and ride. But at the same time, it's like, it's tough.
Then if you want a little dude, you're going to end up with a girl first.
Yeah. Yeah. I told myself, I like tell any chick I hang out with, I'm like, I'm not going to have a kid till I'm 40. Like, I feel like that's a good age to have a kid nowadays.
At least you can when you're a guy.
Cause I'll be like done. I think I'll be done with all my stuff I want to do, like business wise. And I just work all day long. It's like, so.
Well, fuck, man, guys can do that type of shit. Just be gone all the time. Bruce is like, he's a good father, but it's rare. Like, pretty much when I podcast is the only time he ever really watches a kid.
Yeah.
By himself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's just taking them to the gym, daycare.
Yeah.
You know, if I need time to myself, he's taking them to the gym, daycare.
Oh.
So he doesn't have to watch them.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we go, where can my audience find you? And where can they buy or get a suspension set up by you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Tesinsky512. You can find me on YouTube. I'm just posting shorts right now on YouTube at just Cory Tesinsky. I actually started a TikTok. They don't like stunt riding and all that stuff. So yeah, I think I'm on there as Cory Tesinsky or Tesinsky512. I don't even remember, but I'm definitely like shadow banned on there right now because I don't like.
So you won't be able to find it anyways.
I've kind of been posting other stuff, but on there, but. And then suspension wise, you can go to my website. It's just www.specificsuspension.com. I do have like some tabs in there. I just have like Harley stuff is pretty simple. So you can just go in the products tab and I'll have like 39 mil cartridge fork, 39 mil standard fork, 41 bagger, or like 49 mil, like the early model or late model dyno, whatever. And you can pretty much get what you need from there. But you know, I tell people if you're not really sure, I have like a form on the website homepage you can fill out, you know, your make and model bike, what type of riding you're doing, what weight you're at. And, I'll just suggest, you know, the best option for you. So that's the easiest way to do it. So, you know, guys will try to DM me and just say how much, whatever. And it's just like,
you can't just tell you a number.
I can't answer. Yeah. I can't even answer DMs or texts anymore. It's just not worth it, honestly. Like it might seem like a dick move, whatever. It's like, but it's just like, it's just got so much stuff going on. And I've realized over the years that it's like, I'm really not making sales that way, guys. Even a lot of guys that call in, they just want to know some stuff and just like get off the phone, whatever. But if guys are really serious, they'll fill that stuff out. And, you know, if you do have other questions, definitely give me a call. I'm working on stuff all the time, so it's like it's tough to, you know, take my gloves off or whatever. I'm usually hands are covered in suspension oil and stuff like that. So yeah, call, leave a voicemail, whatever, email me. I know people don't like to email, especially like 20-year-old kids now, but it's like
they want to answer like now.
It's just what works for me. I mean, I'll go to my computer at noon. I'll go to my computer at 2:00 and just answer emails. It's just way faster. You're trying to play phone tag with somebody for a couple days. It's just like
back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
So where do you go from here? You're going to New Mexico?
Yeah, going to New Mexico, go camp for a day or so, and then head home. But Me and Dom are doing a stunt show in Houston. So that'll be fun. He said he's going to hang out for a little while, so it'll be good to spend time with him. Never really actually spent time with Dom, but I feel like me and him would be a really good team.
Hell yeah.
And then fly out for Drifter Cross, Ohio. A couple days after that. And then Sturgis is right after that. So
Are you going to Sturgis too?
yeah.
Drift across?
Yeah.
Sick. So that's how you're making all these competitions, because you own your own business.
For sure. I mean, but even a couple days out, it's I get so behind on stuff.
And you probably work the whole time here.
Yeah, I really do have to set aside 2 hours a day while I'm on the road to keep stuff in line too. So.
Well, sick. Thanks for setting aside 2 hours for me.
No problem.
I appreciate you, dude.
Yeah.